Okay, so this is my submission for the final lab in Intro to Dig. I'm going to start at the end of a timer just to show the functionality that once the timer ends it'll go to the next step. I didn't want to waste a lot of time in this video just watching a timer countdown. Okay, so I'll first start off by showing you the buttons. This button is very dark. There we go. Okay, so this button right here, this is reset the current the recipe step. So if you're in a current step and you wanna restart that step, you can press that button. This is the back button, which will go to the previous recipe step. This is the next button. This is the recipe selector, so you can select between sauce or pasta. Here's the enable for the timers, and then here is restart, go back to the top of all the recipes, which will return to pasta, which is the top, and then depending on what this switch is on, it will immediately revert to either pasta or sauce. Okay, so I'll enable this and let it count down the rest of the way, and it should go to add garlic. Yep, right at the end. I'll turn the enable off, and then while this is going, I'll show you the restart recipe. See if as long as this is held down, it is at the start of the current recipe. Start, add garlic. Restart, add garlic. I can go back to 3. There's a 3-minute timer we just watched count down, and I can hit next past that, and I can keep going. There's another 3-minute timer, and then add the peeled tomatoes. But let's start at the top before we get too far ahead. So what did I say? This is recipe select, so this is the restart. So this is going to restart us back up to pasta, and then once I put the restart off, now it will decide whether to go to pasta or sauce. So right now it is in sauce, so since I let this back down, it should go to sauce. Perfect. Okay, and like I said, we can go to pasta or sauce. So we can go next. That'll be diced onions, garlic, and basil. And technically, dicing basil is called chiffonade, but I wasn't going to get too fancy. And basil. Okay. So the next is saute onions. Okay, so saute onions and add salt, and there's your 3-minute timer that we started off originally with. Next would be to add garlic, and then the next will be a 3-minute timer again. And then add peeled tomatoes again. We can go back if we want to. We could enable this if we want to, or just keep on going. And there's a 30-minute timer. That's to let the tomatoes stew, and then finally enjoy. And then when I hit next again, should go back up to the top. And of course it's there you go. I can go back up to the top. Okay, so now let's go through pasta. So now I selected the pasta recipe. Go boil half a pot of water, but you can't really do W's with 7-segment displays. You also can't really do T's, as you can see. So I used H2O instead. Let's add salt, add pasta to the water, 8-minute timer, strain, and lastly enjoy. And that's it. And then originally my design was going to be with the keyboard, but as I stated in my final report, the data signal coming from the keyboard, which should be staying high continuously, was very random, and when I clicked the key, I don't know if there was a response to that because of the initial randomness, but it didn't seem to really care. So I just decided to replace the whole system with a switch, and I talk about that in more depth in the report. Thank you.